May 10, 1940. Europe held its breath. Months of phony war ended abruptly as Germany launched Fall Gelb, Case Yellow, a lightning strike westward.
Across a 300-mile front, 3 army groups, spearheaded by panzer divisions, smashed into the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. This was Blitzkrieg, synchronized attacks by tanks, dive bombers, and motorized infantry, overwhelming static defenses.
The Netherlands fell in just 5 days. Rotterdam endured devastating aerial bombardment, forcing a swift surrender.
In Belgium, Allied forces rushed to meet the German advance, deploying across the Dial line, but the main thrust was elsewhere. General Guderian's panzer group, hidden by the supposedly impassable Ardennes forest, burst into France.
The Maginot Line, France's formidable border defense, was bypassed, its fixed fortifications rendered irrelevant. On May 13th, German tanks crossed the Meuse River at Sedan, shattering French 9th and 2nd Armies.
French commanders struggled to comprehend the speed and fluidity of the assault. Their doctrine was built on static trench warfare.
The panzer spearheads raced towards the English Channel, aiming to sever Allied armies in Belgium from their supply lines. Endless columns of refugees, mixed with retreating soldiers, choked the roads, creating chaos and hindering counterattacks. Desperate French armored counterattacks, often lacking air support or coordination, were quickly overwhelmed.
By May 20th, German forces reached Abbeville on the coast. The British Expeditionary Force and large parts of the French army were trapped. The critical channel ports of Calais and Boulogne fell after fierce fighting, further constricting the Allied pocket.
With their backs to the sea, the Allied command made a grim decision: evacuate. Winston Churchill approved Operation Dynamo.
The only viable port remaining was Dunkirk, a shallow harbor already under heavy German artillery fire and aerial attack.
On May 24th, Hitler issued the halt order, temporarily stopping German panzer divisions just 10 miles from Dunkirk. A strategic blunder or a necessary pause?
This brief respite allowed Allied engineers and soldiers to fortify a defensive perimeter around the town, holding back the advancing Germans. Thousands of soldiers streamed onto the vast sandy beaches of Dunkirk, hoping for rescue, facing constant aerial bombardment. Soon, hundreds of civilian vessels, fishing boats, yachts, lifeboats, joined the armada, answering the call for aid. These little ships braved the treacherous channel, often under fire, ferrying soldiers from the beaches to larger vessels. Soldiers waded out for hours, often shoulder-deep in the cold water, towards any boat that could reach them. Above them, the Royal Air Force battled the Luftwaffe, desperately trying to protect the evacuation from German bombers and fighters.
The sea was littered with wrecks. German U-boats, E-boats, and bombers sank dozens of ships, costing thousands of lives.
Despite the terror and exhaustion, discipline held. British and French officers organized lines, maintaining order amidst the chaos. A brave French rearguard fought fiercely in Dunkirk town itself, delaying the German advance and buying precious time for the evacuation. On May 27th, the German attack resumed with full force, closing in on the shrinking perimeter. By June 2nd, the perimeter was collapsing. Ships risked even greater danger to pick up the final contingents. The last British ship departed on June 4th. The French continued evacuating until the morning of June 5th. Against all odds, 338,226 Allied soldiers, 2/3 British, 1/3 French, were rescued from the beaches. But the cost was immense. Almost all heavy equipment, tanks, artillery, vehicles, was left behind, a staggering loss. German forces marched into Dunkirk, capturing thousands of remaining French soldiers and a vast array of war material.
The evacuation of Dunkirk cleared the way for the Battle of France. Paris fell on June 14th. On June 22nd, France signed an armistice with Germany in the same railway carriage where Germany had capitulated in 1918.
Back in Britain, Churchill famously declared, "We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall never surrender."
Dunkirk was a tactical defeat, a symbol of the continent's collapse. Yet it became a moral victory, a symbol of resilience and unity.
Those rescued soldiers formed the core of future Allied armies, ready to fight another day, knowing the battle for Europe had only just begun.